Not having those things puts you in scarcity mode. It puts you in the state of need. And neediness is the exact opposite of what is required to manifest your greatest abundance. Let's talk about this awesome manifestation hack with a simple chart called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Hey change makers and change leaders, welcome back to my channel. It's Julia Chet today, here to deliver amazing manifestation hack that you can use to get what you want consistently, to make your manifestation and achieving your goals consistent. If you're like the people that I come across all the time in my clientele, and also the people I have conversation with that have been trying to manifest for some time, whether that is manifesting the person of your dreams in terms of a soulmate, or manifesting amazing business success, or finding the job of your dreams, to find out your next level, whatever it is, your life purpose, and you have not been getting results, then you need to pay close attention to this video, because it's going to give you all the answers that you need on exactly why it hasn't been working and what you need to do to start building momentum again and start manifesting rapidly. Before we go further, I have a disclaimer. I know I can 100% back up that my manifestation hack using Maslow's hierarchy of needs works. And that comes with understanding the truth, and also accepting where you are. So if you're not ready to do that, you are not going to resonate with what I have to share with you today. If you've done enough and you're sick of waiting and you're ready to do whatever it takes to start manifesting faster and better and consistently, you're ready for the truth, then this is the right video for you. The first and foremost thing that I want to share with you is that manifestation is not only about thinking about things and things coming true. It's about your emotional state being a magnet to a similar energy and vibration that is a match to your internal state. Where people go wrong a lot of times, and also I still consistently work on my manifestation using this exact chart, is that we can maybe get into a state through visualization and even giving ourselves a certain kind of experience to experience that state of abundance. However, what gets in the way is the maintenance of the state. The maintenance of the state is the hardest thing when it comes to manifestation. And this is why if you are not consistently manifesting what you want, you're likely not seeing results because you're unable to maintain the state. In order to maintain the state, you need to be fully internally connected with the changes of your emotional state, because as humans, we tune out. No matter how conscious we are, no matter how long we've been doing this work, we have mental obstructions. We have relationships and life circumstances that affect our emotional state. And you'd be surprised if you paid keen attention to how you feel every single minute of the day, how many things can actually influence your state and change your state into scarcity. It will drop it down to scarcity. Paying attention and understanding what truly takes up your most mental capacity and emotional bandwidth will help you understand how to manifest consistently, and also tied to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you paid close attention to what took up the most emotional bandwidth, what has the capacity to drop your energy from joy to scarcity, or from feeling full and feeling abundant to feeling needy again, if you truly pay attention to those things, you will see that for the majority of you, it falls under a specific tier in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This diagram outlines the hierarchy of human needs, meaning what we need first before we seek the next level of needs. At the very bottom of the need is physiological. And I know we're talking about manifestation here. It's gonna all make sense towards later in the video, I promise. We first have to understand the chart. Physiological are basic things. Things like food, water, air, body elimination, sexual reproduction. That falls under physiological. Now you may think, why is sexual reproduction at the very bottom of the tier? Don't you want to procreate when you have more needs met? And this is untrue. You will see that when humans get into a desperate situation, if there's a war or a pandemic that breaks out, contrary to your thought, there will be a lot more reproduction, meaning more babies born during desperate times than when people are pretty fulfilled and things are going really well. If you are someone who tends to feel like your sexual needs get in the way of producing greater things in your life, then you are falling into the most bottom tier of human needs. This is why a lot of spiritual people, they manage their sexual energy. If you are someone who is obsessed with carnal gratification, then you drive yourself down into scarcity, meaning you fall into the state of the very foundational level of human needs. Next level, we have safety. Safety is like shelter, employment, having your basic resources for survival. That is safety. Safe to say that most of you watching this video have physiological and safety needs met. You have running water, you have clean food, air, shelter, you have employment, you have a source of income coming in from somewhere. If you have those things, then your physiological and safety needs are met. Next level up is where it gets tricky. It's love and belonging. This is things like family, friendships, connections. People are stuck here at love and belonging. Love and belonging is about true connection, not just having a family, but having an integrated, loving family. It's about having people you can truly rely on, not being surrounded by people. If you have a history of toxic relationships, if you have a history of having difficulty connecting with people, if you have a history of having difficulty making friends, or if you have social anxiety, the issue is right here. Oftentimes when there's issues here, when love and belonging is in trouble, that's when people fall into things like addiction and a lot of different types of habits that drive that person down into scarcity, including procrastination, a lot of fears about feeling safe, because love and belonging is about emotional safety, which isn't often discussed about. Safety, the tier of safety, which is the second one up from the bottom, this safety is about physiological safety, that you have a safe home, that in a safe neighborhood. These are physiological safety. Emotional safety, however, is much harder to see because you could be in a so-called happy, loving marriage, but it may not be a kind of marriage where your emotional needs are being met. Then you're no longer emotionally safe if you're the person who feels constantly need to fight for acknowledgement or fight for love, fight for having your emotional needs met, fight for people to understand you, to be heard. Then you are stuck in this tier. The next tier is esteem, which is about significance, having status, innate sense of achievement that people feel when all of these tiers are met. Next is self-actualization, which is the greatest potential. It's about, and this is where you can be extremely creative, very open, and fast-moving. And this is the peak of manifestation. When you're at self-actualization, manifestation happens rapidly. Things move very, very fast. The lower down you are at in this tier, the slower it moves. The reason why I want to explain this chart before we go straight into the manifestation hack is because you need to understand that, first of all, let me make it clear that Maslow's theory is just this part. My theory, and specifically, I have not heard of anybody else, any other manifestation teacher talk specifically about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how to use it for manifestation. So this is my thing, so take it or leave it. I found that it works extremely, extremely well when this is leveraged properly. My theory is here, that this is foundational. Physiological safety and love and belonging, not having those things puts you in scarcity mode. It puts you in the state of need. And neediness is the exact opposite of what is required to manifest your greatest abundance. The reason why manifestation occurs so rapidly at the top tier is because this puts you in the state of abundance. In the state of abundance where you are full, you're emotionally full, you materially have more than enough, and now you can be creative, you can be open, you can try new things, you're magnet at connecting with people, you have the foundation. And therefore, manifestation here happens rapidly. That's not to say that once you arrive at this point that you will never ever have to worry again. Because human experience is that your state is not guaranteed forever, it's constantly changing. It's like Jenga. If anything gets jeopardized, here you can be up here and still experience scarcity. And let me just put it this way, scarcity is survival. Scarcity doesn't mean you're cheap. I just want to make that clear, because when I say a state of scarcity or scarcity mindset, people immediately think that this is like some accusation that you're a cheap person. No, that's not what it means. It means that your mind is so consumed on the basic survival needs that you cannot create something that is greater, your highest potential, self-actualization, cascading abundance, like the kind of manifestation that people go for. Now, let's talk about the hack. First thing that you're gonna do is to honestly determine which tier you are currently in. Where are you stuck? This is important because self-honesty is the best policy when it comes to rapid change. If you cannot be honest with yourself, you will keep painting yourself a make-believe picture, and then you cannot focus on what you actually need to focus on to get the results that you want. So take a little moment and ask yourself, in which tier are you currently stuck in? Do you have all your physiological needs met? Do you have your safety needs met? How is your love and belonging? This is where it gets really tricky. You have to be extremely honest with yourself. If the friends that you have, if the people that you hang out with every day for lunch or on the weekend, or your family of origin, or the family you married into and the family that you produced, you look at overall feel of your relationships. How is the state of your love and belonging? Your boyfriend, girlfriend, be extremely honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, you live in the illusion. You live in illusion, and with illusion, you cannot create abundance into reality. Only when you can fully accept where you are right now with deep honesty, then you can look at what you need to work on. Now that you've determined that, we're gonna move to the next step. Now you have to realize how people try to manifest and constantly fail, or things take forever for it to come true. It's because someone can be stuck at the bottom tiers, meaning they're in survival, they're in scarcity mode. Let me just use an example of a typical client I've worked with. They have trouble in connection. They've either been in toxic relationships, they're still in one, they're trying to make peace with one. Sometimes they're talking themselves into that it's fine, it's okay, I'm gonna keep building what I'm building, I'm gonna get myself to a certain level, and then think about doing something about this 10 years later. Or sometimes in pure denial that they're not in a great situation. Even with friendships, keeping fake friends because you don't want to be lonely, or hanging out with people who are not aligned, going out getting drunk all the time, partying all the time, same people who are suppressing their lack of connection and using other means like addictions and parties to fill the void. So if any of these things fall under where you're at right now, then you're lacking in the area of love and belonging. And this emotional needs are essential survival needs. You need it to survive. When you have this is kind of the entry point to thriving. If you don't have this, it's very difficult to thrive. You cannot get to the next tier. The thing about Maslow's hierarchy of needs is you cannot jump the tier if you don't have your physiological needs met. Okay? Say that your body is not well, you're extremely, extremely sick. Okay, that's deep scarcity. Then you cannot suddenly jump up to try to manifest something here. You have to resolve whatever is here right now. So if you are stuck in love and belonging, for example, and you try to self-actualize without doing anything about here, then it doesn't come true. It doesn't come true. Some people might say, well, you know what? I know a lot of people who don't have a lot of connections. They're loners, and they seem to get to esteem, or they seem to get to living their higher potential. And remember that people love to paint pictures. And if you truly want to build a life of abundance, you mustn't fall into the tricks of what the front that people put on. True abundance is about sustainability. If someone cannot sustain their success, then that is not abundance. It's scarcity. If somebody builds significance or a career without acknowledging and working on these areas that they need to work on, wherever they're actually stuck, if they're being single-minded, which I also call this very trauma-driven way of succeeding, which I've been there as well. And I've paid the price, and I've seen how you can get to a level of success and not have it be sustainable. So many people have this. How many people spend 20 years in corporate, and it was all because of the feeling of feeling not good enough, or just needing to make a certain type of salary and needing to be seen successful by someone else. Not driven by purpose, not driven by intention, and getting to some level of esteem only to have all that taken away. Only to realize this is not exactly what they wanted. Only to realize that the career that they thought they believed in wasn't really their call. They were playing a role. And then to realize that they were surrounded by fake people and all of the other things. Illusion is not reality. True abundance is sustainability. It's something that's sustainable, that builds and grows over time. Another example is if I skipped love and belonging, and I decide to be significant and have achievement and success by ignoring my family. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. One's a teenager, another is a preteen. If I did that, what is the consequence that I pay? Maybe I will go off and make a lot of money. Maybe I will go off and maybe write some popular books, or maybe I'll take off on YouTube or whatever. I can do that. I can make it happen by pushing and avoiding what is required. Then what happens? You just give it a time. Something driven out of scarcity builds more scarcity. It creates a scarce outcome. And people think that the process is the abundance. The process is not the abundance. How does this have lasting power becomes a question. So say I pushed forward without parenting my kids, neglecting them, not nurturing my family, not being a good leader in my family, and then I achieve something. Guess what's gonna happen? What if my kids become so depressed, anxious, and do something bad for themselves? What if they get involved in really bad things? What if they are surrounded by really bad friends? That is scarcity. That is not something sustainable. Now, I cannot build that as an abundance, that significance or success. That is not significance. That is not success. When the foundation is off, it becomes unsustainable. This is also why people who succeed to get achievement or stuff, or they're driven to achieve, and they go for achievement, self-actualization. They try to ignore their health, ignore this, ignore that, and then they just go straight forward, and then guess what? The health comes to bite them in the butt. They're gonna get sick. Maybe they'll end up with, after eating really badly, they're gonna end up with diabetes or something worse, maybe something even worse. Who knows? Kidney failure, I don't know. Cancer. I mean, there's so many things. People faint from exhaustion. It's not unheard of. That's Arianna Huffington's story. At that time, she was driven through scarcity to succeed while neglecting the physiological needs of a human being, the basic foundational need. So here is how the hack works. You need to determine where you are, where you honestly need work. And when you manifest based on meeting that immediate need, you manifest fast. Okay? So example, say that I'm stuck in love and belonging, and I know deeply my mental obstruction. Remember I asked you to think about, to track, and if you haven't done that, and if you're not sure what that means, start tracking what takes up your most bandwidth in a day. If your relationship with your son is taking up the most bandwidth because you know it's not good, it's not balanced, it's not harmonious, and it's not healthy, if you neglect that, you will not be able to manifest so quickly here. If your toxic relationship is taking up a lot of mental energy and it's your constant obstruction towards abundance, where it blocks your abundant energy, then you're not going to be able to manifest. Okay? You may get some stuff, but what's going to happen? Not once or twice. I work with plenty of successful entrepreneurs who neglected to look at the love and belonging part that was so targeted towards needing to achieve more, make more money, grow faster, and they were neglecting where they were on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, believing in illusion rather than truly being honest with themselves. They get to a certain financial point, they get to a certain point of fame, and then their life starts to crumble. They trusted the wrong people, the relationship they had, they were with a user, now they're getting a divorce and having to give them half or more, having to pay them a lot of child support. When I work with people, usually they've experienced something like this, and usually the problem is here. And of course, this is North American standards. Where you are watching this video, you may be in a different place, but even if you have foundationally physiological safety needs that need to be met now, it's a lot faster for you to manifest something like that you need, that is your next level, that is blocking your up the hierarchy of the triangle. It's a lot faster to manifest what you need to manifest that's immediately going to help you tap more into joy and the feeling of safety, which is the foundation of the abundant energy, that you can attract more abundance. It's a lot faster to do that than try to aim for something that's really far away and not seeing it happen. And then you're constantly stuck in the same place, because until you take care of that piece, you cannot move up. I've worked with people who are still living with their parents and they're fully grown adults and in a dependent dynamic. They're stuck in love and belonging. What these people need to do, they actually need to change their relationship with a parent, start standing on their own. They may not end up living in a nice house, a comfortable house and rent-free and all that, more responsibility, but what ends up happening is that they become self-sufficient, and then they're going up the chain, because this love and belonging is not only about your relationship with other people, it's about yourself. How can somebody who's not self-sufficient emotionally and financially become an achiever? Even believe that you're an achiever. These things are not something that you can trick and jump over. It doesn't work, because temporarily you may have some kind of result. But what ends up happening? Scarcity, because it's unsustainable. Another example, I have so many entrepreneurs saying, how do I get more consistent clients? They're constantly looking for new digital marketers or somebody that can just create the magic for them. Why it doesn't work? Because I am quite certain if you don't know how to get clients, you have love and belonging issue. You either always feel different, you feel like you're outside of a circle, you don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to position yourself with your value. That is the real problem. It's not that someone can save you. This is also emotional security. When you have the foundation, when you have people that you can trust around you, that all comes from self-trust as well. Then you can build esteem. This is the true meaning of confidence. It's feeling that you are successful, feeling that you're significant, feeling that you are capable of more, of self-actualization. I work with plenty of very successful people as well who lack in the love and belonging, meaning they're in scarcity, they're suffering, they're struggling. This is a zone of struggle. Even though they've achieved so many amazing things in their life, they still do not feel successful. Imposter syndrome, this is exactly where the problem is. Imposter syndrome is scarcity mode. Now, that's not to say that you never feel it. Again, state is changeable. It comes and goes. It's not wrong for you to feel those things. Feelings are like an alarm system that lets you know of something that you need next. Yesterday, my smoke alarm started beeping. I changed the battery. I had to reset the dial, and it stopped beeping. He realized he had batteries. Your senses are like an alarm. If you feel imposter syndrome, it's not that you're wrong. It's not that you should never feel it. It's asking you to look at where you need help. Likely something happened recently where you've been challenged in your safety, in your emotional or physical safety, somewhere along those lines. Some occurrence and how you interpret it but also there might have been changes in relationships. Understanding what affects your state makes you a master manifester, because now when you know what it is, you can go and work on that area to elevate yourself again, to get yourself into joy and abundance, to reach self-actualization. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Hopefully this helped you. I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment down below where you're at right now and what you wanted to manifest, but now what you actually need to manifest to get to that goal faster. Because when you want to manifest, everybody wants to get to self-actualization. Am I not right? I mean, don't we all want to get to self-actualization, to live your greatest potential, to thrive to the fullest, to travel the world, and to have more than enough abundance and money, to have beautiful loving connections and friendships and family, all of that around you? That is self-actualization. That is the definition of thriving. Thriving does not happen until we hit esteem. That is abundance. But until we have solid foundation in the basic human needs, physiological safety and emotional safety in connection, we cannot achieve thrive. We constantly get stuck in survive. And when you're stuck in survive, you can't manifest fast. But what you can do is that you can manifest fast for your next level, to go up this triangle a lot faster, to get to the state where your manifestation starts happening a lot faster. I typically found that if people are stuck here in love and belonging, you will see progress every 2 to 3 years. You manifest something big. But once you pass that stage, it's only a few weeks or months time that you end up manifesting extremely fast. You become a master manifester. Did you enjoy this video? Would you like more videos like this? I would love to know. No matter where you're at right now, you can become and achieve your greatest potential and self-actualize. 10 years ago, I was probably at the bottom of the tier or in the safety tier. And now I see myself right in the esteem area. I can't say that I fully self-actualized because this is a lifetime goal, but I am very happy with where I am. And I am very glad to share this knowledge, this gift that I have learned through my process of growth, and to give you the guidance that you may need at this time. If you like to do this work with me, especially if you're that person who's stuck in love and belonging, this is something I specialize in, because many people spend many decades stuck right here. And there's a fast way to overcome this hurdle right here to get into the state of esteem. So if you like to do that work with me, to become a master manifester who creates abundance rapidly and to manifest a lot faster and consistently, I would love to hear from you. Here we repair love and belonging connection. That is one of the greatest true human pandemic that we experience. If you feel very lonely, if you feel alone on your path, if you have difficulty with connection, with social anxiety, with toxic relationships, this is the perfect program where we can do the work together to help you accelerate rapidly to your path to self-actualization. To join my program, go down to the description below and click on the calendar link to book a chat with me. Right now, at this point, when I'm recording this video, we have a new session starting in October 2021. But even if you're watching this video much later, it doesn't matter. Just book a chat through the calendar link down below. We're going to have another session starting from the point that you book a chat with us. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what I shared with you. I teach you how to connect and manifest with your whole being, with your whole body, your mind, spirit, soul, using movement, using water. It's something that you probably never have come across, but I found that is extremely effective in moving up this triangle rapidly. I truly believe in your ability to generate abundance and live your fullest life on your terms. Thank you for watching. It's Julia Cha. See you in my next video.